8 ways that you can protect your money as an independent contractor or self-employed. All right, so I hope you are ready. Make sure you have something to write with so you can take some notes as I jot these gems with you. Let's get into it. Well, hello, my fabulous people, and happy day. I am Teacher Melanie, your teacher of money. And today I want to talk about, 8 ways that you can protect your money as an independent contractor or self-employed. All right, so I hope you are ready. Make sure you have something to write with so you can take some notes as I jot these gems with you. Let's get into it. So first and foremost, if this is your first time to my channel, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back to paradise. And so for those of you that don't know, and I want to put this disclaimer out here now, right, on the crusade that I'm on, being a self-employed individual and working with individuals who are independent contractors, whether you have a carrier business, you're driving Uber, you have your own business and you are a solopreneur, or maybe you have a daycare, right? Whatever it is, as it relates to being an independent contractor and a solopreneur, right? You want to make sure that you understand the importance of protecting your money, all right? And what things need to be in place. And for me, I realize there's so much now, and within the last couple of months, experiencing sudden loss of my only brother, my only sibling, and the sudden loss of my father within 7 weeks of the loss of my brother. And during those times, I wasn't working as much as I would normally do. And I'm an independent contractor. I work for myself. And if I did not have things in place where some money was still coming in as I was going through this time period, it really truly would be a devastation to our financial house. But thank God, I took my own advice and made sure that I had different levels in place as relates to making sure that no matter what stage of life, that things can continue to go. And so this is a time where it's really important that you understand, as a independent contractor, as a solo entrepreneur, as a self-employed, right? Maybe you have a couple of employees, which I did, that you understand what you need to do to protect your income while life is life. All right. So I want to share a couple of gems with you to make sure that no matter what stage of life, you are good and that your family is good as well. Okay. If you have that. So let's go ahead and get started with this. At the end of the day, but before I go any further, make sure you go ahead, right? And hopefully you enjoy the information. You subscribe and you share the information out to somebody that you know is going to need this at the end of the day. All right. So let's go ahead and get into this. So the first thing you want to do is make sure that you have an emergency fund. Yes. This is where you are paying yourself. This is one of the ways, as a matter of fact, that you are paying yourself first. Now, we hear this a lot about when it comes to personal, but you need to have this in place in your business, because if you're a solopreneur, right, and you're the one that's bringing in income and an emergency happens and you cannot handle that emergency, whether it's $400, $500, $1,000, without having to go back to work, and you're unable to go back to work, that's kind of really devastating. Then you can't really focus on the issue that you have to deal with at hand. So making sure that whatever comes in, and if you've ever read the book Profit First, it's a great book for entrepreneurs. You want to make sure that you are, and it doesn't, whatever amount that you receive, that you are paying yourself first by having an emergency fund that is for your business as well as for your personal. That is the first thing you want to do. right? Because as I said, if unexpected things happen, your business slows down, medical, you have a stressful situation that you have to deal with, like what I had to do with burying my brother, and my brother in such a short, my brother and my father in such a short period of time. You want to make sure that you are good, right, as you navigate those waters. Because now I'm just getting back into things, and this has been since July that my family and I have been dealing with, since June, okay, because my brother passed June 1st, that we have been navigating these new normals, right? And so this is why I say it's important that you have an emergency fund, the first thing, okay? The second thing you want to do is to protect your greatest asset, which is your income. Oh my gosh, let me tell you. So both my dad and my brother were solopreneurs, and my brother also had was working for someone. But if he was at the point where he wasn't working for the individual and he just had the business part of it, it really would have been detrimental to him. But he did, right? But he did have life insurance, right? And as well as I do, because I have children. My brother didn't have any children. My father had life insurance as well. But this is the thing. When you have, people always say, well, I'm single, do I need it? And the answer to this, yes, you do, because you need it, right? And if you become sick, right, are you able to sustain your life while you're going through the different treatments or whatever, and that you have something you can access this? And if you don't, right, life insurance is not just about the dead, it's about living, right? Because you can take a portion of that depending how your plan is set up, where you have a living benefit. If you become disabled, if you become terminally ill, you have something that you can access. It's not a loan against a policy, right? But it's something that you can be able to access while you're navigating that situation which you're going through. And then heaven forbid, right, you pass and you have someone that depends on you for your income. If you're married, your wife or your husband, or your children, your grandchildren, maybe you're taking care of your grandchildren, whatever it might be, somebody's dependent. You have a parent and your parent was depending on you, right? Can they continue life, right, without that income that you are bringing in? And the answer is to no. That's why you want to make sure that you protect your income with life insurance, okay? Listen, don't be out here in these streets working and grinding, right? Your money is coming in and you are not protecting your greatest asset at the end of the day, okay? And listen, there are different types of life insurance. Of course, you have the personal for yourself and your family, but there's also business life insurance as well that you can put on your business, that your business can continue even with your absence as well, okay? So income protection. The second thing is diversifying your streams of income. It should not just be where you're always making money, right? As an independent contractor, self-employed, usually you're the one bringing that money in. So you want to put yourself in the position that whether you are there or not, that your money can continue to come in, that you're just diversifying, right? Maybe you have another something else that you're adding to your business. You're having digital progress, you're investing, right? Having these multiple streams of income. And let me tell you something, this is biblical, okay? This is biblical. In Ecclesiastes 11, it talks about the importance of having multiple streams of income and investing. This is biblical. So this is not something I'm telling you, you're hearing this. Everybody says, oh, you have to have multiple streams of income. God said that because life happens, right? So if something happened to one aspect of your business, you're not totally dead in the water because you have something else in the process that's still going to generate it without you having to generate it, right? Without you having to go out there and grind. That's why it's important that you diversify your income, that you're not putting all your eggs in one basket, because you can get tired. You can get tired, as we all do. And when you get tired, do you want to physically keep doing this and not put your best foot effort out there? Absolutely not. You don't want to do that. So the fourth thing is to incorporate your business, right? Protecting it, making sure you have an LLC. Now, starting out, sometimes you might not can do that, okay? but you want to put in the mindset that I want to make sure that my business is protected, that if anything, right, somebody wants to sue me, they won't get my assets, right? They'll get what's under the business. So incorporating and protecting yourself through your business, right? Having an LLC, right? Or having it an S corp, it all depends on the structure of your business and exactly what you're doing determines how you should set up. LLC is the easiest way to incorporate, to be honest with you. The S corps have different benefits, but if you're just starting out, right, and it's just yourself in it, or you're not really big, it might not necessarily be a good fit for you right now, right? But you still have that in mind. But at least you can start protecting yourself with an LLC. And you do not have to do an LLC in your state, especially if the fees are expensive in your state. You can have your LLC set up in another state like Nevada or Las Vegas or some other places where the fees are not that much, right, and still protect your business. Okay, just know that there's some things that you have to just be mindful of that state, but the fees are usually a little bit less because there's some states like Tennessee, okay, where it is expensive to incorporate in that particular state. So know that you're not locked in a box if your fees for your state is expensive. Okay. The fifth thing that you want to do is save for retirement. That's right. You want to save for retirement because remember, retirement is not an age, it is a number. So you could be 25 and retire. You could be 35, 45, right? 65. Hopefully you're not trying to, right? But whatever that number may be, maybe you just love what you do and you're not planning on retire. But needless to say, you want to make sure that you have some type of retirement, and that being a Roth IRA, because money is going in after taxes. And when you're ready to withdraw from that, you're not having to pay taxes on that money whatsoever. So having a Roth IRA is great, and there's a lot of different tax benefits that you have having an IRA, and it's a little bit more lenient as opposed to a traditional. Now, if you have employees and you want to help them to have a retirement plan and you contribute to it, well, of course, that's a benefit to you. That will be in a 401k plan, 403d, depending on what your industry is. And what ends up happening is that once again, you get a tax benefit as a company as you're helping to contribute to your employees' retirement plan. Hey, I'm about winning. Oh, and how about this? If you have children and your children are working in your business, hello, okay, like I do, your children, by the way, if you did not know this, your children can have a custodial. Okay, you hear what I said? Custodial retirement. That means they can start. They don't have to be in their 20s. Okay, they can start if they're 9 and they have a business. They're generating income, whatever it might be. Right, like I have my daughters. They're generating some income through their jewelry business. So I've opened up a retirement custodial planning for them and help match it. Right, they bring something in, I have something for them. Okay. Right, so that's just something you can do, but having that retirement plan in place is essential. Especially if you don't plan on want to work for the rest of your life, you want to enjoy the different stages of your life, you can definitely do that, but you have to start. And that's where you have to understand of knowing what your FIN number is. Okay, when it comes to that, what is your financial independent number as you are an independent contract, self-employed solopreneur? Do you know what that number is? And basically, that is basically the number that lets you know how much money you need in order to continue your lifestyle without having to go back in the workforce. Okay, that is what the FIN number is. Ooh, my glasses are dropping off, y'all. Okay, there we go. Okay, so continue. Let's keep this process going. Now, the next thing is number 6, planning for taxes. We do not want to play with Uncle Sam. Not at all. We do not want to play with Uncle Sam at all. So planning for the taxes. Now, listen, as a solopreneur, and I'm having, as a solopreneur, know that you have a lot of tax benefits, right? If your business is at home, right? Your home is a great benefit that you can really deduct a lot of expenses. your normal everyday expenses. But now because you have a home-based business, you're working out of your home, right? Even if you're doing Uber, right? Your administrative is at home, so it's considered a home-based business. And what ends up happening? What ends up happening is that now you can deduct your cell phone, your utilities, a portion of your mortgage, your rent, all these expenses, your insurance that you can now deduct because you have a home-based business. Okay. And as a solopreneur, an entrepreneur, independent contractor, 9 times out of 10, you're conducting your business from home. You're not having to go anyplace, right? Your administrative, your paperwork you're doing at home. And so now you have the ability to deduct a lot of those expenses. And so making sure you're planning your taxes year round. You're not waiting until March, right? Or April when the new year. You're planning every single month to make sure that your expenses, your taxes are being taken care of, and that you're having to pay less taxes. Right? And there's a lot of different programs that you can use. You can use Wave, which is a free accounting program. By the way, it's free. It's just as good as Quicken, right? Quicken has a little bit more benefits, but when you're starting out, you're not trying to put a whole lot of expensive. And if you're a solopreneur, you're not trying to spend a little too much money, but so it helps you that. That's why it's good to have not just an accountant, but also having someone that understands the different tax laws that are constantly changing, and it's in your benefit, and that you yourself understand them as well, and how you're able to deduct a lot of expenses. So maybe that you're traveling now. You're not traveling just for personal life. Your travel is business, not personal. Okay. How you entertain family and friends. It's not just Thanksgiving, right? It is a business dinner, right? Once again, it all depends how it's being structured, right? But you have to understand what that is. And I love talking about that. And I'll share a little bit more of that in another video. But as I said, you're planning your taxes year round. Number 7 is keep your personal and business separate. You should have a separate business account, and you should have a separate personal account. Even if you're like, well, I'm not incorporated, listen, you can open up an account that is a proprietor, that is your business, and that you don't necessarily have an EIN number, right? Your business number is your social security number, but you can get an EIN number as a proprietor, a sole proprietor. You can actually get one. You sure can. By the way, yes, you can. You sure can. Okay. And that will allow you to open up a business account. But needless to say, doesn't stop you from opening one, because you can use your social security number as your business account. But you want, as I said, keep it separate. Keep your business and personal separate. Co-mingling, that's what it's called. When you mix your personal and your business together, it's called co-mingling. And you want to keep those things separate. Keep it separate. Okay. Keep it separate. Have a business account, even have a business credit card account as well. Keep it as separate as possible. It's really, really important. It's going to help you later on with the accounting. You're going to thank yourself, and your accountant will, or your tax preparer, right, that you constantly talk with, will also help you with that as well. And number 8 is making sure, which I have to say, that if you have children, right, that you have custodial accounts for your children. That means some type of investment that could be preparing them for college, right? Whether that's a 529 plan, it could be an UTMA or an UGMA, as well. With the money that you're generating, this legacy that you're creating, is making sure that you have some type of custodial as well. I tell you, I can't tell you about these enough. Okay. Enough. Oh, and by the way, how can I forget this? This is actually a bonus, right? But estate planning. That's the bonus, okay? Which will be the number 9. Okay, so number 8 is your estate planning. Oh my goodness. Having a will, a trust, is not for the wealthy alone. It's for you who have income. You're working, you're investing, you want to make sure those things are properly protected, and well, that whoever you put in charge of your trust, your will, that they are going to do what you want to do and not what the state has, okay, for them to do. So these are just the 8 things, hashtag bonus 9, as it relates to how to protect your income as an independent contractor, as a solopreneur, as a self-employed individual. Now, I'm so glad that you stayed to the end. Good job for you. Kudos, kudos, kudos for you. And so what I want you to do is go ahead, and I have a link below that you can book an appointment with me. Yes, you can. Okay. You can book an appointment with me and also get on my mailing list, because I also have great gems. I do offer a 15 minutes, right? It's complimentary, to see where you are and how can I support you as it relates to making sure that your business and your personal financial house is built right and tight, that you are protected, you understand all these things. Because listen, at the end of the day, you don't want to be reactive, you want to be proactive, right? Reactive is wait, something happens and you're trying to scramble. Reactive is like you're hearing the information, you're like, okay, Teacher Melanie, I'm going to book an appointment with you and sit down with me for those complimentary 15 minutes and see how I can still help support you, okay? Because at the end of the day, you cannot allow somebody to do what you want when it is your responsibility. All right, my fabulous peeps. So I'm so glad you stayed at the end. Make sure at the end, make sure you go ahead and you like, subscribe, and share, right? And make sure you go ahead and catch me up in the next video, and follow me on my other social media platforms, and you see all that listed below. So like I always say, remember to pray, plan, and believe, because God is still in the business of doing miracles. Make it a great day. Bye, fabulous.